All right, what's going on, guys? So in this video, we're going to be talking about minimalist training and why it's the most effective training method for building an incredible physique as a natural physique that's really strong, powerful, and well developed. What's up, guys? So it's Rio from Polarity Fitness, and today we're going to be talking about minimalist training. So minimalist training is actually the method of training that I use and I teach people how to use. So I believe it's the most effective method for building an incredible physique as a natural, a physique that's really well developed, strong, and powerful. So what minimalist training is essentially sticking to a very select amount of exercises, usually multi-joint movements that give you the biggest bang for your buck. So what type of exercises are those? That's your squat, deadlift, bench press, overhead press, chin-ups, rows, dips, movements like that just give you the biggest bang for your buck, that use the whole musculature of the body, the single joint movements that just activate the entirety of your muscle fibers in your body. So minimalist training is when you really just double down on focusing on those exercises. So it's not to say that you don't do any other exercises, but you really focus on getting as strong as you fucking can on those core movements. The movements, you really focus on mastering them and getting as good as you can on them. So you can do other movements, but you're very well aware that, accessory movements, smaller movements are not going to give you the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to muscle and strength development. So people who train minimalism are very well aware of the fact that the big core, multi-joint movements are what's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to developing your strength and your muscle, especially when you're a natural lifter, guys, because when you're a natural, strength and muscle mass are very tightly correlated. It's only when drugs come into the mix that this doesn't apply anymore. So when you're natural, the degree of strength that you have, especially on your big movements, is very tightly correlated to the amount of muscle mass you're holding in your body. So that's why it makes a lot of sense to stay very focused on getting strong on the big core foundational movements. So this is actually how the bodybuilders back in the day used to train, the golden era bodybuilders. This is how they used to train before they started taking mega metric fuckloads of gear. So that's basically how they built their physiques. So they stick to a very, stick to mostly heavy barbell training, progressive overload, getting really strong and mastering big compound movements. Typically in a minimalist training routine, you pick about 4 to 6 core foundational movements, and then you have maybe, 1 or 2, holy fuck, the bugs are crazy. You have maybe 1 to 3 accessory movements for the weak points, because if you're smart and you pick the right movements, you're not going to have very many muscles in your body that are lagging. So you may have, a couple different body parts that you want to bring up for your physique development, for your strength development, just to suit your needs. So a lot of the time maybe your rear delts may not get enough work. So that's no problem to give them some direct work. You could do some rear delt flies, some face pulls, for example. But you want to very much be aware of the fact that those types of movements aren't going to give you the biggest bang for your buck, especially as a natural lifter. So you really want to focus on the big core movements. So one of the biggest misconceptions, guys, is that minimalist training leads to minimalist results. And people think you need a really wide variety of exercise selection to build an incredible physique, which is just not the case, guys, because building a physique as a natural is about achieving progressive poundage, progressive workload over time. And here's the thing with minimalist training, guys. Let's say you were going to do 5 exercises for your legs. You are going to get stronger a hell of a lot slower as opposed to if you were doing 2 exercises for your legs. So in the short term, you may experience more muscle growth from the excess volume of doing a wide variety of exercises. But over the long term, guys, having that clearer focus on just a couple of exercises is going to produce greater workload over time, and greater produced workload is the primary driver of muscle growth, right? So if you focus on a smaller selection of exercises over the long term, you're actually going to have produced a much greater increase of workload, and you're going to have gotten a lot stronger than if your body had to adapt to 5 different exercises, because our bodies can only make so many different adaptations, guys. So you want to really focus your adaptations on mastering a select amount of movements. And if you pick the right movements, the ones that are the most effective, you will not have a lagging body part you will not have a lagging muscle in your body. So that's really important to remember. So if you guys focus on really mastering and getting as strong as possible on just a handful of really effective exercises, you will be stimulating maximum muscle and strength throughout your entire body. And I find minimalism is super effective because it gives you something to focus on. You don't have to be, you don't have to have your mind thinking about tons of different shit. You can go into the gym and okay, today I'm doing squats and I got to get this a little bit stronger at it. I got to do this and that. It's very focused. It's very focused on just a select amount of exercises. This actually saves time in the long run, guys, because you can work out for you can train for less amount of time, but since you're getting so much stronger on just those big effective movements, you're saving time. You don't have to spend as much time to stimulate the same amount of tension, as opposed to if you're doing a bunch of different exercises and your body has to adapt to a bunch of different ones and you're not getting the same tension as opposed to if you were just getting really strong over time on a select amount of exercises. So I actually recommend picking, I'll give you a few examples. My kind of core 5 lifts, and I recommend these as well. That's kind of my philosophy. These are the 5 lifts that I promote and say, if you can get as strong as possible, if you can milk out as much strength and you can master these lifts, you will build as good of a physique as a natural as you will ever want. And those lifts are going to be your bench press, your overhead press, your deadlift, your conventional deadlift, your barbell back squat, and a weighted chin up or weighted pull up. And a couple movements I'll throw in there and I'll rotate are kind of rows, a lot of different barbell rows. So as you can see, very big and core foundational movements. So as long as they don't have to be exactly like that, I do highly recommend those exercises for a multitude of reasons, but I'll get into that in another video. But as long as they're big core foundational movements that activate the muscle fibers of the entire body, then that's fantastic. And if you focus on mastering those, getting as strong as possible at them, you will produce maximum muscle and strength gains throughout your entire body in a much more effective manner than if you were trying to adapt to a bunch of different type of exercises and spinning your wheels. So that's why I really like to stay focused on a select amount of exercises, and that's kind of my training philosophy. That's what I teach people with Polarity Fitness. So if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe, let me know what you found useful. Let me know if you're going to start to train in a minimalistic fashion. Not many people are promoting this type of training nowadays, guys, because people want to give you a different fucking workout plan each month. But I'm more about, giving people the deliverables, like giving them something they can progress on for a long time and build an amazing physique. So that's really what I focus on, is just giving that value. I'm not trying to fuck people over. So if I'm giving someone a workout program, this is it, it's very simple, and it never changes. It's always the same valuable stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.